Hello friends, and welcome to another wonderful episode of the Urban Homesteading channel with Professor DIY, myself, Mrs. DIY, and Elpida. And we want to remind you of our great 2025 giveaway, right? All you have to do to be entered to win is to be a subscriber, like this video, and leave a comment below. Any comment will do. Any comment from now or the last 3 videos to the end of the year. So, if you want a nice little gift from us, just make sure you leave us some love and we'll give you some back. Today we're going to tackle a very targeted organizational project, but not this. We're almost done with this, right? But it will require a little bit of traveling on our part for 2 different reasons. The location is not this homestead. It is Elpida's very sick bunker living arrangement situation. In other words, we need to install what we're building in Elpida's apartment. And the other reason is that we would like one of the tools that they have not made it here yet, which is our planer, our thickness planer. So we're going to have to go to our storage, get our thickness planer. We have to go and get materials. We have to go to Elpida's house, and it's going to be a little bit of traveling today, but stick around. We are going to have fun as always, and you are still my favorite viewer. It is a beautiful North Carolina morning, rather chilly however, and we are heading to our storage unit, correct?
Yes.
And that will be stop number 1. And we have arrived to our storage unit. It's a fairly large installation. Is that the right term, installation? Yeah. And also, as you can see, have places that you can park vehicles and other things. We only park our tools and some of Elpida's things. Do we park those things?
I was going to say we park them into the unit.
Yep. So we're going to pick up a few things that we need, including our planer. And we're going to be on our way to Lowe's. So stick around.
So we are in my second bedroom. Going to show you my closet. Because right now, it is not at all optimized. It's a very, very nice space, meaning there's a lot of space in here. I'm going to back out and see if I can show you a little better. It's a very, very nice space for storage. It's just not at all optimized right now. A lot of boxes that, sorry for the finger in the frame, a lot of boxes that I want to keep in order to transport things safely next time I move. And there are obviously some shelves in here that are part of the complex that they have, and making use of those, but again, not super great. So the plan is, of course, to get all of this cleaned out, pull everything out, do some measurements, and then build some custom shelving in here so that I can take advantage of this space a little bit better and hopefully make it look less chaotic. So I'm back showing you what the bottom of this looks like all cleaned out. Again, I'm going to do some measurements to see what we can do for this space. And again, as you can see, it's a pretty decent sized closet for an apartment. The top hasn't been touched. That's probably part of this bottom organization / next steps. But the first step, of course, is making the measurements and figuring out what we can fit in here. So the side of DIY you don't see, and we try to show you, is that the first step of any project of organization is you need to take out the clutter. So we have done this here, and this will be better organized, but it doesn't affect our project. Not today's project. Right, so it is not now, but the area we are going to work on, if you want to come here, Ms. Elpida, is going to be here, right? And behind me. And that will actually, we're going to show you when we are done, but we're going to go from this to this. Beautiful organization system. And even this, you can see how nicely organized with a little bit of labeling. You can have everything on your fingertips, right?
So we need to calculate the material we need to purchase to finish this project. And we have unlike us, a nice drawing. We need to make 2 of these, right? So if we calculate what material we need for 1, we just double that. So that shouldn't be hard. So first we need to calculate the cedar. And cedar posts are about 6 feet, right? Which is how many inches?
72.
So they are about what, 5 inches wide or 5.5?
They're about 5.5.
So our width is 39. So we need to divide 39 by 5.5 to see how many, and I know we're going to cut them too, but since we need spaces, that will be okay, you know.
Okay.
So we need to calculate a rough estimate of how many we need.
So we might need my phone, which is currently recording this, to do those calculations, and then we'll come back and show you what those look like.
Okay. Based on our design, and the materials we want to use, and we probably want to use 2x2s for the legs.
Framing.
And we're going to use 2x2s all around. All the framing will be 2x2s, not just the legs. We made a small adjustment to the dimension, so we're not going to waste a lot of material, right? Because if we leave it at 18, we're going to waste a lot of material. We have to buy extra to use very little.
And we're talking about the cedar boards now. So
Right.
we made an adjustment to a 16-inch depth. And the only reason for that is because when you buy those cedar fence pickets, you have to cut off the dog ear. Or I guess you
Yeah.
don't have to, but we prefer that to give it the uniformity of look. So we made an adjustment to 16 inches deep so that we will then be able to use all of the board with as little waste as possible.
And again, I know we're measuring, which is anathema in this channel, but this has to fit in a specific place.
Right.
But we're not measuring to the 1/16th. We're measuring inches, right?
Right.
We're doing a rough measure.
So with all of those calculations, we're talking about 8 cedar fence pickets and 8 2x material, whatever that looks like, for each one of these
Yep.
shelving units. And so that will be doubled. Or, oh no, actually
We calculated
yeah,
that.
8. So it's doubled. Doubled, right?
I thought this is for both. Our next stop is Harbor Freight because I found it to be the best choice to buy casters, right? Price-wise, at least, is the best choice. We've bought more expensive casters other places, but if you want inexpensive casters that are readily available, Harbor Freight cannot be beat. And we're not affiliated with Harbor Freight. One would think we are, but we're not, right? And Jay working in North Carolina.
That's what they do here.
Coffee. Beautiful sky though. So far the episode has been the driving channel.
That's okay. They see us get out of the shop now and again.
We do that?
We do that.
We're allowed?
We're allowed.
And here we are at our local Harbor Freight, where a lot of our hard-earned money have been deposited, right? We're going to go inside and we're going to let you know what we're buying. So our next stop is somewhat unusual for us. We are going to go to Home Depot. We don't often go to Home Depot, but
about 1 mile.
we like their totes, and they have some good sizes and prices these days. So we need to buy some totes for the project we're building, correct?
Yes.
So that will complete our organizational purchases. And half of the day has passed and we haven't started building yet, but dare I say, that shouldn't be a very hard build. Or
You should not have said that.
did I jinx us?
I think so.
Sorry. So the cold weather is upon us here in beautiful North Carolina, and the body heater was brought out of hibernation, summer hibernation, but it's giving us difficulties. We can only light one of the two, I don't know what they're called,
Burners.
burners. So we're going to leave it like that and see if we can work and fix it afterwards. So as you recall, our trip to the storage was to retrieve the planer because as much as we like the cedar, it's very rough. And we would like to make it just a little bit more beautiful, more better. Right?
smooth so that I don't get splinters every time I touch
Right.
it.
A thickness planer is one of those tools that is not necessary by the strictest of definitions of necessary tools, but it does a great job smoothing wood and of course giving you a very specific thickness if that's what you desire. But when compared to sanding, I love using this planer for the cedar planks because they give us amazing results and it ends up saving a lot of time. However, the negative is an absolutely mess of a lot of waste and wood chips that it generates. Because of the copious amount of waste that it generates in the form of wood chips, we decided to pair this with our soft vac so we can have a little cleaner environment and also makes our cleanup later at the end of the project. However, as you're going to see, this combination created yet a new problem for our project today that has been fraught with unusual and strange problems that we do not face as a matter of rule.
So today is a project with obstacles, right? Apparently our power supply cannot support both our thickness planer and our vacuum at the same time, and the thickness planer makes an absolute mess. In those, so we're letting it out in the yard, but here we cannot do it. So what we're doing is we are plugging our vacuum to the portable power station so we can have both on. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, the games begin. So as you can see, look at the difference here. I don't know if it is very evident.
It's pretty evident.
This is very rough.
This
but-
one's still very rough. This one has gone through on this side on the planer.
And what we're doing one side so we don't go up and down with the planer always, and then the other.
Watch how this is blowing our hose away, and this was the indication that the vacuum was not on. We thought it was on, but it was not on, and we're going to show you in a little bit how silly a problem we faced, but finally we solved it.
100%. Plug it in a different one. It goes out of the soap.
No, it's just, there we go.
Well, the vacuum stopped working and we're not sure why. Well, it's not really full. It's good. It has stuff in it, but there's no reason for it not to work.
Plug it back into the main plug and see.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to figure out why the power bank isn't driving it. So we're going to test it back into the regular plug.
It cannot be drawing more than 2000 watts though, which this is. I guess it could be. Plug it back here. That is bizarre. It was facing you, so it would be on the other side.
That's where I had it plugged.
Right, but
So,
I mean another plug.
So
I did that.
How many plugs does it have?
3 or 4 of them. Does it have another button there?
Okay, cool.
And just like that, with the press of a small button, we are back in business. Both machines work without interfering with each other, drawing power from two different sources. Having one of those power banks is a very useful thing. If you ever want to take your tools away from the house, especially tools that might use corded power versus cordless, it's very easy to move around. But in our case, usually, because we do not have a shop but we work from our garage, household circuits have a tendency not to be able to handle too many hydro machines at the same time. And having this allow us to use the machines the way we want them without having to worry about power consumption and blowing our fuses every few minutes.
We filled the vacuum with sawdust. As you can see, while it's very effective and much faster than sanding, the planer generates a lot. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Peter?
Yep.
A lot of
sawdust. We're trying not to make too much.
Well,
of a
that is
mess,
packed.
but
There
it's
will
completely
be no
packed.
way not to.
That's why
Yeah.
it's all still coming out the hose.
Yep.
So yeah, this was about a third full when we started, and we haven't even made it all the way through one side of all the boards.
It actually packed it in there. Look at that.
Yes, it did.
And then I want to buy sawdust. We give it to you for a good price.
Well, it's
Well, it's Cedar sawdust.
Cedar. Ooh, we're coming out the back. And some other stuff.
I said Cedar sawdust.
Alright, I think that's good. I don't know what's here.
Want to do that end?
You can try, see if it's,
Oh, that feels clean.
yeah.
This end is clean.
Let's try to clean some and see if it works. On the floor. So you can see the beautiful grain and look that is hiding behind the fuzziness. Again, these were very similar, right? You see this clean side versus the fuzzy side. I don't know if it's very clear or not on camera, but it's an amazing difference, right? And the way we're doing that for efficiency is we're doing the one side of all of them first, and then we're going to do the other side last. So we're minimizing the amount of corrections we made on our height on our machine. Okay. So in our scrap pile, we found the pieces from the old project we did, and they are totally serviceable, but they're not planed because we didn't have the planer at the time. So we're going to plane those pieces, because some of the pieces we just planed, they're absolutely gorgeous, right? And if we could give them for another project, that would be great.
Right, and one of them does have quite a curve in it that I didn't see. Like, it wasn't a warp, it was a curve, so if we can manage to not use that one, I think it'd be good.
In order to have reasonable uniform thickness, not necessary, I mean, it will be hidden for most of the time anyway, but we're using one of the old plants that we've already cut in half, and we're going to cut all the ones that we bought, I guess not all of them, we're going to cut them in half.
And so this is not the thickness, this is the width
Right.
of what we're looking for, because we already did the thickness with the planer.
Yep. So like we always do, we have set the blade just above the thickness of the material we're going to cut. As we saw, we used the previous material for the correct width. We're using our jig to make sure that we're going to go straight through the blade. And now we're ready to cut.
Wait, we don't have any dust collection. Of our cedar planks here that we had cut to the correct width. The very first thing we're going to do is line these all up and square the bottom. It's got that trigger. It's got the trigger you got to pull. Yep. And again, we're just trying to make these squares so that when we line them up, we cut another piece as a storyboard at our 16-inch depth of the shelf, and that's what we are now lining up. We make sure that the end is flush with the boards we just cut flush. Then we bring down this saw blade.
Or you can use a laser line.
Yeah, but we like to line it up.
You see the line is exactly where it is.
Yep, and we lined up that piece with it, and now we're gonna cut it.
And on a cut like this, the only thing you need to be careful is that on both fences, the right and the left fence, you are flush.
Here and here. And now we've got 4 boards all cut at once, and we're gonna keep going here and finish cutting our length.
The next step is taking the round over out of the 2x4s and then ripping the 2x4s in half to end up with approximately 2x2s.
Squaring 2x material will elevate your project in an unbelievable way with something that is very straightforward and easy to do if you happen to have a table saw. If you don't, this can be a little more challenging.
So we have squared one of the 2 sides of each 2x4. Now we're going to repeat on the other side with a small adjustment to our saw, and then we're going to rip them in half. So now we cut in half the first board, and we're going to do that on the other 4, and we're going to start. We have one more cutting actually, and then we're going to start. The height of our organizational unit is going to be 36 inches, and that's what we set our saw at right now. We're going to cut the first one, and then we're going to use it as the story stick for the rest. Because as long as they're all the same dimension, that's the important thing, right?
Right.
This is rinse and repeat. We need 8 of those.
Yeah.
A lot of cutting to length, right?
But they're all consistent because we're making 2 of the same object, and so we can do a lot of the same cuts over and over.
And on each board, we just square it. That's what you saw us doing there. And again, it's rinse and repeat. Now I want to show you how accurate this laser line is versus a, not laser line, the LED line is versus a laser line. And look exactly where the blade was. I'm not sure I captured it very well, so I want to show it again.
Okay.
So you see the LED projects a line, which is actually the width of the blade, right? Mm-hmm. And as you can see there, it's a perfect match, right? Yes. It doesn't get much better than that. Excellent. So here are the beginning for our assembly. We have enough pieces for the legs and enough pieces for 1 shelf or 2 shelves.
2 shelves.
2 shelves, okay. So this is everything for one of the units?
Yes.
Other than the wheels?
Right.
So the next step...
Well, and the slats, but for the framework, yeah.
So the next step is assembly.
Okay, we are set up to begin the assembly, and this is going to be the end of one of our shelvings. We don't have this in the right place, but what we do have that there is to help support and make sure that everything is in alignment
And square.
and square. And so we've also done that here. We just have a clamp holding it. And as you can see, this is coming together real nice. We're going to take a drill bit and do pilot holes just to try to offset and hopefully prevent any splitting. And then we're going to use these screws and put it together. Turn around, I guess.
Nice and tight there.
On something like that, we're not going to put glue because if we move to a different environment, a different apartment or something, we can take it apart and adjust it easily, right?
Right.
If we glue it, then we're going to waste a lot of material. Okay, if you can find the scrap. One of the sides, and we need to make 3 more. We're going to build all of them at the same time, right? Yeah. It is a pretty straightforward build, as we told you before. And we're using screws. We are a little offsetting. This is on purpose. We didn't make an accident because we're going to have another screw coming this way, right?
The opposite way on
Right.
whichever end this is, yeah.
So that's why we did it that way. So we're going to rinse and repeat, make 3 more. And we'll be back with you when all 4 are finished. So these pieces will have a tendency to want to rotate when you screw them, right? Mm-hmm. So you can have a friend to hold it for you so it doesn't rotate. If you have any friends, right? Or you can put the clamps, not the clamps, the clamps that we have, like the red clamps. Just too much time for us and we're running very late.
Or if your setup is like this and you don't have corner clamps, you can have this closer to the corner and actually have another clamp holding that in place.
But just be aware these will want to rotate.
They will, yeah.
Little tip that will save you a little bit of time is when you have one build, put the next one on top of the previous, then you don't have to measure. Things are falling right and left here, aren't they? So ignore the falling. So that way you don't really have to measure, right? You put everything aligned and it will stay aligned. Very excellent.
Very excellent.
Not very unexcellent, right?
Right.
And what Elpida is doing now is using the clamp again to hold it together. But again, this is a little bit of saving time method, right? So our 4 ends are done. The next step is to put what will be the width in essence, right? This is the depth. So the next step will be to be the width. We'll set up for a lot of sanding. Even though the blade leaves a very nice clean surface, right?
Yeah, just take off the little furry bits.
Yep, but really not a problem at all.
No, not at all. There we go.
But now we're going to, I wonder if we just can clamp this here. There are just the 2 of us. Mrs. DIY went out to run an errand and we actually need a 3rd person right now.
So maybe we can clamp it at that end and adjust this in and out.
Can you lift that so we can show them what we're trying to do? Yeah. And put the thing in between.
So this piece has to go in between, likewise on the other side. And then we'll have 2 more up.
Right.
But we've got to find a way that 2 people can hold this so that it can be assembled.
Well, 2 people can hold this, but we have no one to actually screw it.
Yeah.
Right, that's the problem.
Yeah, but I think if we clamp it at this end, then we can adjust the table in.
All right, so we're going to unfortunately have to go offline for a few and try to figure it out. But in essence, you can see what we're trying to do.
Framework.
So a little tip about how to do the ones that you cannot have on the floor or on your bench is use your square. And as you can see now, we have a perfect reference that we can lay our next piece, right? And that's all we need to do. So this is an optional step, but we decided to use some little ball bearing wheels that we're going to put on each leg, and that will allow us some portability, some movability, right? Again, this will never carry a tremendous amount of weight. That's not the intent of this device. But it will be nice if we have the ability to move it a little easier, right?
Yeah.
So each of them is 66 pounds. So we're going to have almost 300 pounds of combined weight. We'll not put 300 pounds on this, right? That is more than I weigh. Come on. If he can move me with this, he can move anything, all right? So today it has been the project with obstacles, right? It took us a while to get our big body going, but we did get it going. And really it's not its fault, it's our fault. We didn't store it correctly and it has warped a little bit. So hopefully we can fix it. If we don't, we're going to replace it because we have been very, very pleased with it, right? And we have it for many years now. So
and it's done a great job keeping the space warm.
it has served us well. But it is really cold in North Carolina. I want to move to South Carolina.
Apparently.
It's really cold in North Carolina, and now the garage is a very nice, comfortable temperature. And I wanted to share with you this triumph of repairability, DIY-ness, right?
Yep.
We're very close actually to going by another one because it was challenging, and today I had enough of challenges, to be honest. I was done with it, but I was able to fix it and we did not have to procure another one. So I'm sorry, Peter will not go for this, but if you're a minimalist, with the containers we bought, you don't even have to put the slats on, right? You can put 3 containers on each level.
And technically you could have, if you bought your containers, then you could build them to fit the containers so
Right.
that they're actually a little bit closer and you don't even ever have to worry about them falling off.
I don't think I worry about them falling off.
Well, if you push that one way or the other, it could potentially fall off.
Okay. So we're making a very, very rough fit, right? Not a true rough fit. And we were trying to decide if we want them like this, especially on the bottom, right here, right? Or if we like them like this, and I think Elpida wants this.
Yes.
Now, to achieve this, we need to cut a little bit of a space.
Not for the top one, but for the bottom.
Not for the top, but for the bottom. So we're going to mark and make that cut.
We're using the powerhouse of the saw.
Hey, it's working, right?
It is working. Okay, 1 notch and how many more to go?
As you can see, that gives us a very, very nice and tight fit. We have to do 3 more of those. Again, on the top, the advantage is we don't need to cut them because it sits on top. And of course, as I said, if you didn't want to, you don't have to do that. And while we're going to put them much closer, you can put them very sparse if you want to save some space, right? Because if they were like that, that tab will never fall off. But you don't like it that wide.
No, I want it to be more
Right.
closely spaced like in our other projects.
Yeah, okay. Okay, don't do it all the way in. Do the other one first, because that pushed it too much. That's okay. So what we're doing is installing the legs now, the boards.
Wheels,
Feet.
Not the feet, the wheels, the rollers, the
ball bearing rollers.
and the reason why we're going sideways is why?
Because that's where we have room.
No, because we don't want it to be that close to the edge, it will split it. So by going sideways, we're ensuring we're not splitting the wood. You need to go a little deeper with your drilling. Okay. We're going to do that 8 times. And this part of the assembly will be done. So friends, this brings us to the end of this episode. Elpida, do you remember the cost of the wood?
I want to say it was around $55-ish.
We bought
Roughly.
8 2x4s and 8.
No, we ended up 9 cedar planks, but we didn't use all of them. And then we adjusted because we ripped the 2x4s. We went down to 5.
Okay. So that gives you a general idea for your area, right? Mm-hmm. And we end up using how many cedar planks?
Well, we found the equivalent of 2 in our
Right.
stockpile, and then I think we used another.
And we have left 4.
We have 4 left, so that means we used 5.
Right. Way above 10% extra.
So 5 plus 2, 7 total.
Yeah. So
And we actually still have one of our 2x4s left as well.
I think $50 is a reasonable cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it cost us more than that at all.
No.
Hardest thing for us. This was an easy project, I think.
It was pretty easy with the sketch. We knew all of our dimensions already in advance, so the hardest part really, it wasn't really hard, it was more time consuming, was milling all the lumber.
Very repetitive project,
Yeah.
for sure.
So once all the cedar was planed so that it was all smooth and a similar thickness, and then we ripped the 2x4s, then we were just able to cut all the pieces to the correct size and start assembly.
Excellent. And that concludes the episode, and we are pleased with the outcome. That's exactly what we were hoping for, right? Mm-hmm. Now, we spent more money because you bought totes, but you can either make one for what you have, you just didn't have anything that you
Right.
liked or could use. So we kind of built it specifically to fit what you bought. But regardless, the project is very nice, and on the wheel bearings, it's going to move around easily if you need to move it.
Right, right.
And I think pretty portable. When you go to a new place, I think you can take it easily with you.
Yeah,
And if we need to change the dimension, we can really, that's why we didn't glue it.
right. That'll be easy to make an adjustment.
You can certainly glue it if you want to. Well, friends, we hope you enjoyed this organizational project, and if you did, we'll appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, smack the other button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know, do you like episodes like that? And do you want us to continue making episodes like that? From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY, and Elpida, let's build some organization together.